Hello friends and welcome back to my channel Avid Readers. Today I will continue with the part 2 of the book summary of the fictional fantasy book Matilda. I hope you have seen the part 1 of this video. First, let's have a recap of the previous part. We have seen that Matilda is a brilliant kid who does not get acknowledged by her parents, so she starts pulling pranks on them. She also develops a liking to books. She gets into a school and performs brilliantly in her first class. Now, without any further ado, let's start with the second part. Matilda proves herself to Miss Honey and solves very difficult mathematical questions. She also proves that she is a master in literature too. Her class teacher, Miss Honey, is very excited to tell the headmistress, Ms Trunchbull, about Matilda. When she approached Ms Trunchbull to tell about Matilda though, she gets a not so good reaction. She says that she respects Mr. Wormwood, who is Matilda's father, and has heard by him that Matilda is a very naughty kid. Miss Honey still tries to convince Miss Trunchbull that Matilda is a genius. Disheartened, Miss Honey leaves the room. But Miss Honey was not ready to give up. Later that day, she went to Matilda's house to convince her parents about Matilda's brilliance. But they were not accepting the fact because they thought Matilda was a total dummy. They talked to Miss Honey as rudely as they did to Matilda. As Matilda was really polite and nice in person, she made many friends. The one she was closest to was a girl named Lavender. The reason they both liked each other was that they were both gutsy and adventurous. One day, Matilda and Lavender were in the playground when they were approached by a tall 10-year-old girl named Hortensia. She was eating potato chips from a bag and started a conversation with both of them. She was talking with them about Ms Trunchbull. Hortensia said that Ms Trunchbull hates small children. She also scared the two kids with the story of the Chokey. The Chokey was a very tall but narrow cupboard with sharp glass pieces sticking out of its walls and thousands of nails hammered on the door. So the only way to stay unharmed when locked in there was to stand straight upright. Hortensia said that she was locked in there 6 times. She was even locked in the Chokey for whole day twice. They also came to know that Trunchbull once participated in the Olympics and was an expert at a sport called Throw the Hammer. And then suddenly, Miss Trunchbull came into the playground and the ground became silent. She scolded a girl named Amanda Thripp for having really long pigtails, and after a bit of arguing, she grabbed Amanda's pigtails and launched her into the sky like a rocket. The girl flew into the sky and then landed on the grass fields. Everyone was devastated, and with that, the Trunchbull and Hortensia left. Later that day, after lunch, everyone was called into the assembly. A boy named Bruce Bogtrotter was called upon by Miss Trunchbull. Everyone knew he was in trouble. Miss Trunchbull told everyone that Bruce had stolen a big piece of chocolate cake from the kitchen of the school. And she then ordered another extra large chocolate cake from the cook. When the cake was brought there, she commanded Bruce to complete the entire cake to compliment the cook, who took much effort to make it. Bruce was barely able to eat it until someone shouted, "Come on Bruce, you can do it." And after that, the whole audience started shouting, "Come on Bruce, you can do this." Bruce quickly sped up and completed the cake as fast as a flash. But Ms Trunchbull though was not happy with this. She took the plate and smashed it hard on Bruce's face. But Bruce was barely hurt by that because he was full of cake. In the first week of Matilda's first term, her class was informed that on Thursday, Ms Trunchbull would be taking over for one lesson and would be testing them on spellings. Matilda's friend, Lavender, was given the job of filling a jug for Ms Trunchbull. She wanted to pull a prank on Ms Trunchbull, so she captured a newt and put it inside a jug. Then came Ms Trunchbull with a monstrous welcome. First, she checked the students on their hygiene. One boy named Nigel had quite dirty hands, so for such a small mistake, she made him stand on one leg for the rest of the class. Then she tested their spellings. After that, when she was testing their multiplication tables, a boy named Rupert got 7 into 2 wrong. So she held his hair and lifted him high up where his hair almost came off, and she also pulled a boy named Eric's ears and lifted him up in the air because he spelled the word what incorrectly. She also disrespected Miss Honey's way of teaching. She was very brutal in that class. Then she took the water from the jug which had the newt in it. As she poured the water in the glass, the newt started wobbling and Miss Trunchbull let out a terrible scream which would have made every window in the school crack. She immediately screamed, "Matilda, wormwood!" Matilda stood up and said, "Yes, ma'am." Ms Trunchbull straight up put an allegation on Matilda that she had put the newt in the jug because her father told Ms Trunchbull that Matilda was very naughty, as you know. Matilda and Ms Trunchbull argued for a while, and at some point, Ms Trunchbull even said that she would expel Matilda. Lavender also felt kind of guilty because of her Matilda was getting scolded upon. Matilda was fuming with anger. Then a strange energy was being formed in Matilda's eyes. And then she felt like a million hands coming through her eyes, and then she miraculously knocked down the glass to the power of her eyes. Ms Trunchbull then let out another terrible scream and then left fuming with anger. After that, she also told Miss Honey about her superpower, and Miss Honey was absolutely wonderstruck by Matilda having such a crazy superpower. After that, Miss Honey invited Matilda for some tea at her cottage. Her cottage was lovely but small. When they came inside, there was absolutely no furniture and a very small stove and a well for water. This was it. She didn't even have a mattress to sleep on. She just slept on the hard floor. It was obvious that she was not financially stable. When they sat down to sip their tea with 2 slices of bread, Miss Honey told her story. She told that her mother tragically passed away when she was 2, and she was taken care by her terrible aunt, and when she was 5, her father passed away, who was a doctor. And all his property was given to her aunt, who became her legal guardian. Miss Honey said that her aunt treated her horribly. Miss Honey was a bright student and she could have easily gone to university, but her aunt did not let her go, and somehow she escaped from her aunt and came into her cottage where she currently lived. And who do you think the aunt was? I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you guessed it right. The aunt was none other than Ms Trunchbull. When Matilda came to know this, she was very shocked, but Miss Honey told her to forget everything about whatever she said. But now, Matilda was ready to take revenge for Miss Honey, so she made a plan. She asked Miss Honey what her father's name was, what Miss Trunchbull's name was, and what she was called at home. Her father was called Magnus, Miss Trunchbull was called Agatha, and Miss Honey was called Jenny. Matilda had a really good plan in her head. For the next week, she practiced with her superpowers and started to master it. Now was the time to put the plan in action. The next day was Thursday, when Ms Trunchbull came for her lesson. She picked up a boy upside down because he didn't understand what Ms Trunchbull asked him. The students were pretty much used to this by now. But then suddenly, the chalk started moving and it wrote on the board, Agatha, this is Magnus. Give my Jenny back her house, her wages, and if you don't, I will come get you like you got me. In simple words, it said that it was Miss Honey's father, and he wanted Miss Trunchbull to give Miss Honey her property or else he would kill her. But you all know who was behind this, don't we? Yes, it was none other than our little hero, Matilda, who was controlling the chalk. After this incident, Ms Trunchbull fainted and she woke up. She ran away from the city, never to return. Yes. Now legally, all her father's money, her father's house and pretty much everything her father owned was given to Miss Honey, and now she was living her life in luxury. Some days later, Matilda found out that her power had disappeared, but she was not sad about this. One day, when Matilda was at Miss Honey's house, she was informed that her family was leaving Britain because her father was being chased by the police and was moving to Spain. Matilda, of course, did not want to go, as she loved her school and the people around her. So finally, Miss Honey adopted Matilda and her parents left, never to return. And Matilda lived with Miss Honey happily ever after. So friends, the story ends here. Do tell me in the comment section below whether you like the story of Matilda. See you in the next video with the book summary of some another interesting book. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.